All right, at the time of this recording, it is graduation season, and a lot of the high schools in my local area have been going through the graduation ceremonies, and probably in your area too. And this always brings up some conversations when I talk to people about what are their kids going to do when they graduate from high school? What are their plans? We have the standard conversations you hear all over the place. We're going to go to college, going to go ahead and do this and do that. I wanted to add my 2 cents to this conversation, and the reason being is 12 years ago or so, maybe a little longer, I was a certified college planner. I got my life insurance license, and it was one of those things that, hey, there's a lot of opportunities to help people with college planning and their finances when you combine having a life insurance license and finances and budget planning for college all tied up in one. And I also volunteered at a church working with a lot of kids, and it has always been on my heart to actually have a way to help people financially and also with helping their kids along the way. So one of the things I did was I actually studied up on becoming a certified college planner. And you go through these kind of seminars, online courses, and different things that actually teach you a lot about how college financial planning works. And really, even back then, the scam of it really is what it is. And this is going to bring up a lot of controversy. I understand. Please don't get me wrong. I am really about education. I agree with having a higher education in any which way or form when it makes sense. And I'm going to go over some statistics that I came across, and this is stuff you can find all over the internet. I'll have links to all of them below in the description below. So you'll be able to see everything that I'm actually putting up on here for yourself. And these are news stations. It's really not that hard to find these information. You just search college debt and those type of things. So most college students don't graduate in 4 years. So the government counts 6 years as a success. And some of the things I'm going to do at the end of this are really like 5 points that you really need to know about getting ready for college and how it affect not only your recent grad, if you have one, or if you have younger kids that are actually about to graduate soon, like maybe in a couple years, you want to go ahead and understand a little bit about this before it's too late. So there are some really big tips that I learned as a college planner back then that was very helpful. And yes, there are scholarships out there. There was a great book, which I didn't actually think about till right now, that you might want to have your kids read. I would say force them to read it. It's going to cost you so much money as a parent if you are a parent, or even as maybe you're a young parent with young kids that are going to be going to school soon, but it will cost you a lot of money to send them to school if that's your plan. Or if your kids even want to go to school, and they need to have a better idea ahead of time. And even if they're not ready, there's things that they can do to go ahead and get ready later. But one of the things I want to point out here is most college students don't graduate in 4 years. So the government counts 6 as a success, but it probably makes sense when you hear this. Most college kids don't get out in 4 years because they spend a lot of time deciding what they want while they're in college and start just changing their mind. What if they didn't go to college until they were ready and understood what they wanted? Do you know how much tens of thousands of dollars can be saved by households out there in the US? Because the average student loan debt right now is about $38,290. And this is in mid 2023 when it came out for the school year, about 2021, 2022. So just to say $40,000. Seriously, that's really, they probably have credit card debt on top of their student loans. And this is just student loans. There's other debts that actually some parents have that are not even counted on this. There's so much expense to college right now. Think about how much you're looking for, because the whole thing about college is, this is a term I heard a while back, which kind of blew my mind. It's your kids actually will have a car payment when they get out of school, which is now about $500 to $700 without having the car. Can you imagine? They're paying this extra money out, and it's almost for 20 years. And the other reason why I'm passionate about this is because I just recently finished paying off my student loans for a 2-year degree that was about $25,000. And I'm 51 right now. So I was 49 when I just finished paying off my debt, because I was 29 when I finally got my degree. And it was just an associate's in science degree in computer networking. And absolutely, it was useless. I never went into computer networking. I learned enough that I could work on small networks, but nothing big. And it helped me with some of my tech side. But it's one of those things that I was ready to go back to school. I studied hard. I actually had the second highest GPA, and I was 26 when I went back, or actually 28. So it was one of those things that I decided to go back, and I was ready and I was mature enough to do it. And I wasted a lot of money prior to that. Thank goodness I didn't get any loans when I first started going to college. And I went to a community college, but I'll talk a little bit about that later, because here's the average student debt statistics. Again, almost $30,000 is what they'll come out with. You're going to have these loans that are so huge. And in the state of California, it's 21,000. This is where I'm from. This is a big population state. But there's so much that also I'm going to go into a little more about what this debt does psychologically and the issues that actually happen. I hope I'm actually going to be able to pull this, because I don't know if I have it. But there was some statistics that I found about how it affects the kids who are coming out of college because of the debt that they have. Oh, here. Average student loan by debt. By those age 50 to 61 have student loan debts of $45,000. 25 to 34 years of age hold 30% of the debt. These statistics are absolutely mind-blowing. And the average borrower takes 20 years to pay, which is their typical loan. That's actually now pretty much everybody knows that too. And the average loan payment here in 2016 was $393. But for adjusted for inflation today, it's about $500. And that is a lot of money. And the thing is, I know our kids and even my generation have been brainwashed to think that they need to get a college degree. And I got to say, I don't have a bachelor's degree, and I made more in the last few years than a lot of people that had college degree or even higher college degrees, because there's something like 70% of college graduates don't go into their field anyway, or end up not in their field or not liking it. So I'm going to go over the 5 main bullet points I want to really portray about student loans or your graduates coming out of school, just to give you a little perspective of maybe things that you might want to consider about kids coming out of school today and what your graduate might be interested in looking at. By the way, there is a great book by Ben Kaplan, this guy. So this is a book that I actually highly recommend a lot of students read. I know it's pretty old, 2001, but the concepts on still getting a college scholarship is still out there. And if your kids are willing to work hard for it, there's opportunities that you may not even think about, especially with the way the internet is today. Thinking about looking into something like this, there is a lot of work being put into it, but if they put enough work into it, it's pretty good that they can probably get some money. I have never seen this book before. It's on the top here, The Ultimate Scholarship Book 2025, Billions of Dollars of Scholarship. This kind of book, have them get educated on something. This is something that you might want to be thinking about, because they can save a lot of money, especially for you. So let's go ahead and into the slides that I wanted to talk to about college and what can be done about the situation that you might be in. So to the 2024 high school graduate, by the way, congratulations. I really am just so proud of anybody who can actually get through high school and now think about what's in the future. But for you as a graduate, now what? Or for you as a parent, now what's going to be next in your arsenal of life that's going to be happening? So the next thing we have here is things to think about as a parent of a recent high school graduate. And the first thing and foremost I want to go and say is to think about, I know you want the best for your kids. Of course, everybody wants the best for their kids. Even education, you want them to be able to get ahead. But this is the first generation that they're saying is going to be making less than their parents. So think about that too. It's statistically, if your kids don't know what they want to do yet, make sure you put them on the right path, because you don't want you spending any of your retirement money for them not knowing what they're going to do or make less than what your retirement is going to do. Because the number one thing, as somebody who was doing a budget planning for retirees or people going into retirement, your kids can get a loan for college. And yes, they're going to have to pay for it. But you cannot get a loan for retirement. So you drain your retirement, you're going to be relying on your kids. And for some of you, that might be absolutely terrifying. And it should be. Should your kids be responsible for you just because you put them through college? That's too much pressure on them, honestly. Are we supposed to, as older adults, be relying on the younger ones to take care of us? We already know what Social Security is like and how that's going to go. So just keep that in mind. Don't drain your retirement for your kids' college. If you all possible, you can help them with their loans if you need to when they get out. But do not drain your retirement because that's it. That's all you got. You cannot get a loan for retirement. That's really what it is. So whatever it takes, let your kids know that's their responsibility that you're going to have to take up. And that's what adulting is like. They're going to have to take responsibility for everything anyway. Most controllable expenses, the most controllable expense about college is time and staying in too long. So you can adjust how much you're going to spend for college by getting them out early. Get out on time or early to save a ton of money. Push your kids to finish early. Let them know that you're only going to pay for 4 years and that's it. They're going to be responsible. Even if it means that they're going to fail, you cannot afford to be spending an extra $10, $20, $15,000 just because they're going to stay an extra year because they couldn't make a decision. So then you want to also make sure that, of course, they know what the decision is, know what degree that they want, and they need to know why they want it. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get a degree in marketing. Why are you going to get? What is their plan? And if they don't have one, they're not ready for college. Seriously, that's going to be a problem because how much it will make over time and what it'll cost you. There are kids that I know that we were helping, they wanted to go to some really high elite Ivy League schools to become a school teacher, an elementary school teacher, at a degree that only is going to pay $45,000 or $50,000 at the time. And they're going to spend over $100,000 in college debt just to go to these high-end schools and go work as a school teacher or even for social work. That's such an admirable job. And it does take a degree to go ahead and get into these fields, and they should take a degree. But why spend money on a college that costs 4 times more than you can get it for the same degree somewhere else? It doesn't make financial sense. So you need to make sure that the degree makes financial sense for what you're going to spend on and where they're going to go. That is adjustable, right? You don't have to go to a high-end private school and spend all this extra money and then go get a job that's going to be a lot less lower paying but very admirable when you could go to a state university or even the community college route on the way up. There's no prestige of coming out from a high level school when you're going for a standard job that just needs it. Now, there are schools out there that do have definitely an alumni network that is, or networking network that is very valuable for certain degrees. And I highly agree. If you can afford it, and they offer this great endowment funds that actually help take care of a lot of the tuition for a lot of people who get these degrees out there, then by all means. But it needs to make financial sense. There needs to be some planning ahead than just going to a school because you got in and it's a great name. If you're not going to really utilize the networking that's going to be made from it that will bring you the profits to take care of you. The last thing is, next thing is, for many degrees, it doesn't matter where you get it from. And this is what I was mentioning. If you're going to be a school teacher, you can get a degree from anywhere. Just get your credentials. And if you're going to be social worker, you can get a degree anywhere. And these, like I said, are very admirable degrees that are out there. We need teachers. We need social workers. We need people in all different fields that have degrees that will be useful, but you don't need to go ahead and go to a high-end school when you can go to a less expensive one. And here's one of the secrets about actually going to school. If you are looking into private schools, a lot of times private schools will give a lot of financial aids if you qualify. So I'm not bashing on private schools that overcharge if they are helping with the financial aid enough where sometimes it's even less than state colleges. And there's a lot of them out there. You just have to find them and know what the degree is and where these monies can be found. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It takes work. You're going to have to look into this. Next, go to community colleges to save money first. If that makes financial sense, then you might as well do it. If you go to community college first and you're saving literally tens of thousands of dollars by doing so, it only makes financial sense. You can just go ahead and get your lower level classes out of the way for hundreds of dollars rather than thousands, and then transfer over. Plus, if you get to still live at home because the community college is close, you might as well take advantage of that too. That'll save you a lot of money. Now, this is a lot of common sense, and I hope, honestly, that this will get some people to actually think about it a little, because it actually makes less sense for you to go to school right away and spend tens of thousands of dollars and have this huge loan when you get out of it. That it just makes sense to wait if you have to. I know we've been brainwashed in society to get degrees. And I've mentored some of these guys that have worked under me that were still going to school. And they even said they don't know if the degree will actually help them at all when they get out, but their parents are making them and they feel obligated to because that's what their parents instilled and they have no choice. And seriously, I say, listen to your parents, but there needs to be something reasonable about it, because I see now them getting into credit card debt because they don't qualify for student loans. And then the loans are just so outrageously high. Even the parents are struggling. They have no retirement. And then these kids are now going to come out with so much extra debt on top of that. I'd love to hear your comments about this. All right. So certain degrees that are out there, do you really need a degree for it? I don't know. Maybe it's a different world that I'm not privy to about understanding this. But to be honest, there's a lot of job applications that I can apply for this as bachelor's degree required. But when I show them my experience, I already have it. And yet a lot of people say, well, how are you going to get the experience without a degree to get the first level job? Well, to be honest, you just learn, teach yourself stuff, and you work hard and teach and get very skilled at marketing yourself and just go do a lot better. There's so many opportunities. You can't use that as an excuse anymore, because I know programmers who didn't go to college that are doing some crazy level programming because they self-taught themselves, and they have high paying jobs for it. And then they can go to school because they have these jobs that will actually even pay for them to go to school if they wanted to. There's, again, always opportunities. You just have to look at it. Traditional routes today are driving people broke. And it's, again, not that I'm against college, because I want my doctor to have a great college degree. I want, if I have an attorney that I need to be representing me, I want them to actually have gone through a great school to get their foundational education on there that will help them, and have a network of resources because they've actually gone through some great education. All right, so I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. Please make sure you comment below. Thank you so much for watching. And if this has been helpful, also consider subscribing if this is the kind of stuff you want about more financial tips. I'll be doing more about different subject matters that actually I have seen over my years that it can save you money, make you money, or just get you a little more comfortable in life. I'll see you in the next video.